Sporting Dog Adventures, run, boy,
That
run.
was awesome.
Everything you
Good
need
boy,
is here under the sun. Everything you need is here under the sun.
The Sporting Dog Adventures podcast is proudly brought to you by Soggy Acres Retrievers. Whether you're looking for a black, yellow, or chocolate Labrador Retriever puppy, please check out our website for more information at www.soggyacres.com. You can also email Jeff at sportingdogtv@gmail.com or call 262-215-9683. And remember, everyone deserves a Soggy dog. Hey, welcome to the Sporting Dog Adventures podcast. I'm your host, Jeff Fuller, and we are here today on what I think is going to be kind of a fun episode. So I wanted to talk about training issues and problems that you see in the field and why they happen. I also wanted to talk about now being the time to plan out for your spring litters, because those litters are being bred now. So if you're thinking puppy, now's the time to get a deposit in. And lastly, enjoying the hunt. So I hope you guys enjoy this show. It's going to be a solid episode and a lot of fun. This time of year, I am consistently getting people that are contacting me about problems they're having with their dog in the field. I know a lot of people will look at it and they'll say, oh, it's got to be a line issue. It's got to be the breeding issue. So I'll talk to the breeder to have it fixed. And that's kind of what the common statement or the common thought process is in the dog world, when honestly it can't be any further from the truth. When you buy a dog that's got great genetics and a great pedigree, you're getting material to work with. It's like buying quality stuff and building a house. You're getting good quality material. And what people don't realize is that your training is something you have to work on. People will think that training is just taking out birds, getting the dog to retrieve, putting them in hunting situations, and they'll skip what the honest training is. When you see a dog perform in the field and go out and they've got great retrieving desire, if they're on upland, they're flushing birds, they're bringing the bird back, but they're not doing the full retrieve, they're breaking on shots during waterfowl, they're getting out too far, people will look at that and they'll think, well, I'll contact the breeder and see what the fix is. We put a lot of time on the front end when people are buying puppies to explain to them that it is about the training once you get them home and finishing your training prior to getting them into the field. Different types of issues that I've had already messaged to me by past clients or by people that have a dog and are just looking for help. My dog is vocal. Vocality or whining or barking in the blind is something that is due to the dog being excited, due to the dog not being properly introduced to what atmosphere it will be in, and you have to fix it on the front end. If you have a dog that is vocal, do not hunt the dog any further until it's fixed. When you look at it for getting a dog trained, there's not I'm going to fix a vocal dog problem either. It's going back and actually doing the proper training for your dog. So it's not a 2-week fix. It's not a 4-week fix. Honestly, you need to put the 3 months into your dog, because the first 6 to 8 weeks all revolve around obedience. And that is on your obedience, whether it's sitting still, being quiet, mouth control. All of those things are one and the same. And that's why when you find training programs that talk about you don't need to do trained retriever force fetch, you don't need to use an e-collar, you don't need to put a prong collar in the dog and worry about them sitting and healing properly. What someone doesn't understand that is saying that is that it is a process. You're teaching the dog to learn. You're putting the dog under control. So it, in essence, teaches the dog they have to listen to all of those things. They have to perform all of those things to get the reward, which is then going out, finding the bird, bringing it back, and getting the praise from their owner. I know it seems like there are so many voices out there that are telling you the opposite, but I've been doing this now for, my gosh, over 25 years. Gosh, I'm getting old. And it still comes down to a dog needs to understand that they hunt for you. We teach them that they hunt for us by having their groundwork built. The groundwork of training on a dog is your obedience, your e-collar conditioning, your force fetch or trained retrieve. You have to have that in place so that the dog can perform in the field and understand that they perform for you as part of your team and not for themselves as a solo act. Finishing retrieves. My dog won't bring things all the way back. How do we fix that in these lines, whether it's my line or someone else? Again, it's mouth control. Dogs will not want to finish a retrieve. They will be hard-mouthed. They will eat birds. They will chomp down on them. These are all things that you fix on your trained retrieve. You have to have that fixed before you take them in the field, or it ends up where you have a dog that will, especially with waterfowl, that will not finish a full retrieve. Maybe go find the bird and point it to you and say, hey, come get this, or just flat out refuse to go. It is something that you want to make sure that you have done so that the dog can perform. And let's see, what is the other one? Breaking. Dogs will break because they get excited and they want to go out and get the retrieve. If there are multiple dogs, you can absolutely see even more breaking because it'll be a competition. If the dogs don't listen and one is a breaker, the other one will break because it wants to get there as well. So that is stuff that you need to work on the front end again, keeping in mind that you have to put in 3 to 4 months of training before your dog hits the field. Then you're going to greatly diminish the struggles that you're going to have because your dog is going to be far more prepared. Past that, if it's your first season or even second season and you didn't get a lot of birds the first season, it just comes down to experience. I took a dog out this year, had borrowed a dog, took a loaner dog out. That was a phenomenal dog. She had done a lot of pheasant hunting, not as much waterfowl hunting, and nothing in a marsh like we have, which is just brutal. And birds would drop. She would see the bird drop, but she was so used to pheasant hunting, she wanted to go on the cattails to find the bird. We found the birds, but it was handling her, getting her into an area and making her trust me that no, the bird is actually in that marshy crud over there where you saw it fall and not in the tall cattails next to it where there was bird scent, there was pheasant scent, there's deer scent. There was a lot of things going on. That was a struggle for this dog because she hadn't had the experience of going out and hunting. So experience, finish your training, have patience, and be a team with your dog. I hope that helps. If you are going into the season and you're seeing any of these issues, if you continue to hunt a dog that is struggling, you will perpetuate and make it worse. So you probably don't want to hear it, but if you are struggling with your dog or your dog's struggling in the field, which is one and the same, you need to not hunt the dog until it's corrected. We don't train during hunting scenarios. We train out of season, and we train so that we can do things under a controlled atmosphere and so that we can add different distractions as the dog performs well in minor distraction times and with a more controlled atmosphere to once we get to an almost chaos. Set your dog up so that your training is similar to hunting to the point where you're even going out in summer in an area that you hunt and putting out decoys, either hunting from a blind, hunting from a dog blind, or hunting from a boat. Put the dog in a position so that they are geared up in playing the game the way it's going to be played on game day. And it's not just where opening day comes, it's starting to get light out, and now the dogs are pounding birds and running around, and oh my gosh, it's chaos. It's something that you just got to take into consideration and realize you're going to have probably 10 good seasons with this dog. So start them out right, work with them properly, and get them ready. So that's it for this part of the show. Next up, I want to talk about spring. Is the time everyone wants puppies. Those litters are being bred now. The dog market was slower. It appears to be picking up. So now would be the time if you're going to go with a good kennel. We sell Labrador Retrievers. You'd want to get your deposit in as soon as you can so you get on the front end of litters so that you get your pick, so that you get a dog during the timeline you want, even if it's a summer litter. Generally speaking, we will see it where we're busy to the point where we're sold out for the year at a certain point. But we'll talk about all that and more coming up after this. If you love the shooting sports like I do, you need to check out our friends at Mech Outdoors. They have fantastic products, whether you're looking at shot shell or metallic reloading, or you want to get yourself a clay thrower so you can practice up for the season. For more information, check out their website at mechoutdoors.com.
Welcome to Boucher in Janesville, where customer service is our #1 priority.
Our customers come back to us because of the experience that we provide for them.
We're here to make sure that we find you the right car, one that fits your budget, and do so in a timely manner.
When we say we ride with you every mile, it means we care about you and how you are treated.
Estamos con personal que habla español en los departamentos de servicio y venta.
Our certified technicians are here to help you with all your service needs.
Visit us today at boucher.com.
At Boucher, we ride with you every mile.
Hey, welcome back to the show. So, we're in our dog tip segment. People are thinking dog for 2025. You want to get that dog, you want to have it for hunting season, or you just want a pet. Spring into summer is the timeline that people hit where, my gosh, I want a dog in spring or I want a dog in summer. Now, I'm in the state of Wisconsin. You can see behind us, it is definitely fall. The leaves are down in our backyard. We will have snow soon. People will not want a dog to potty train once the snow hits the ground and it's cold. So you'll want to get a dog when you get into that March, April timeline. Some people want to wait until summer because their family has a teacher in the family. The kids are off school. It's just more convenient. Think of it now as getting your deposit in, finding someone you want to do business with, even if it's not picking a specific litter. We have around 12 litters a year. So if you got in now with us, we can give you options. How we do it at our kennel, Soggy Acres Retrievers, is we actually take a deposit. We put it in a folder. They're color-coded, yellow, black, and chocolate folders. And once we have options and litters, we will contact people when they're born and say, hey, we had a litter. This is how many puppies. This is the choice you would be. This is when they go home. Please confirm to me that this litter works for you as soon as you can, and we will go from there. If they want to get in that litter, which is usually about 98% of people, we put them in the litter, we set up times, and then we place our videos up and let people watch the puppies grow. If it comes down to where they're like, no, we've got a vacation, we've got a wedding, we've got work trip, we will let them wait till the next litter or a future litter. Ultimately, the sooner that you commit to a company that you understand is what you're looking for, the sooner you're going to have options. In a normal year, and after COVID, post-COVID, during COVID, we were sold out for over a year ahead of time. Post-COVID, things have slowed down, and there were a lot of dog people in the market that had dog businesses because it was like selling candy. Now the market's slowed down to the point where you're going to have dog breeders get out of the business because it's a tougher market. It's probably going to go back to somewhere where we were, which is with our kennel, we generally were sold out once we got to about April for the entire year. Now, sold out with our kennel was we take 8 deposits. So we would calculate out like, okay, we're going to have 96 puppies and 12 litters because that would be 8 puppies per litter. Likely you will have more than that, but we don't take more deposits than that for that sex and color because we don't want to put ourselves in a position where we're not able to produce the amount of litters that we need or the amount of puppies that we need that we have deposits for. It just wouldn't be fair. So if you get your deposit in before the first of the year, slightly after the first of the year, up in a northern state, it's going to get you in a pretty good spot for being on the front end of your spring and summer litters. I don't know what it is. Well, I actually do. In Wisconsin, when you hit February, you get toward the end of February, you get a day where it hits 40, 50 degrees. the phone just rings off the hook because everyone wants a spring puppy because that is the first spring day. What you Southern people don't understand is when it hits 45 degrees in Wisconsin in February, everyone is wearing shorts and t-shirts and running around outside like mad people because, my gosh, it is warm. I know. You're putting coats on and saying, holy crap, it's cold. That's just how it is when you're in the frozen tundra of the part of the country. So it is something that the phone will ring off the hook. There has been times in the past we've taken 10 to 15 deposits in 1 week. If you think about that, that is 10 to 15% of your deposits for the year in a week. So get yourself on the front end. Find someone you're comfortable doing business with as a business. Again, puppies are all cute. You want to buy it like a product. Make sure you find someone that's got a good reputation, a good health guarantee, and that is going to do right by you and be someone as a sounding board and someone you can talk to about the puppy. If you have any questions, the entire life of that puppy, get on the front end as soon as you can, and that will put you in a better position for getting a puppy for spring and summer. So I hope that helps for that part. The last part of the show, I want to talk about a hunt that I had with my son Clayton and the importance of enjoying time in the field. We'll have all that and more coming up after this.
It's Jeff Fuller from the Sporting Dog Adventures podcast, and I need a little help. Please stop what you're doing and give us a 5-star rating. Follow us on the platform you're on. Give us a thumbs up. And above all, share our podcast with your friends and family. Our podcast will grow even more, and we can get more people involved in the sport we love with dogs in the field. The Sporting Dog Adventures podcast is proudly brought to you by Soggy Acres Retrievers. Whether you're looking for a black, yellow, or chocolate Labrador Retriever puppy, please check out our website for more information at www.soggyacres.com. You can also email Jeff at sportingdogtv@gmail.com or call 262-215-9683. And remember, everyone deserves a Soggy dog.
Welcome back to the last portion of today's show, and it is about enjoying your time in the field. As many of you know, I have 3 boys. 2 of my boys have passed. I have my last boy, Clayton, that I hunt with. He is very fun to be with in the field. We had a hunt that we went on this past weekend, and we decided, you know what, let's try one more duck hunt. And ultimately, we tried the day before, and we got skunked. It was awful. It was bad. We did not do good at all. We went out on this hunt with, I had 0 expectations. I figured we were going to get skunked again. I stopped prognosticating this year when I had 2 different days when I said it is going to be on and we were going to kick butt. And both of those days we got 1 bird and 0 birds. So we went out, we went to a blind that was easy to get to. So it was convenient because, again, expectations were at like 0. And we had a hunt that we are going to remember for quite a while. So the hunt took place, and right away in the morning, we couldn't tell if the birds flying around were shorebirds or ducks because they were so small. Turns out they're green-winged teal. Wisconsin, we don't have green-winged teal in November, but it's been a warm fall, so we had green-winged teal still. We shot 2. Missed quite a few because they are fast little buggers, and didn't shoot at a few because we thought they would finish. We had a couple of mallards that came by that looked like they were going to finish and let them go on that one more pass, and, well, they didn't come back, so I screwed that up. We ended up with 2 Drake green wing. We ended up getting a hen pintail, and then at one point, we're sitting there, and Clayton said, "Dad, look at the Argo Trail." Now, we use Argos with mud tracks to get around on our property because it's brutal. So we're coming around on the Argo Trail. We drive out and go straight to the blind. We look on the Argo Trail, and we have a resident population of wild ringneck pheasants, which in Wisconsin is very rare. So this pheasant is coming along, and it's walking down the Argo Trail, and it's at about 70 yards. And we had said that it would be really cool to get a pheasant mount. And we were thinking of doing like a pheasant hunt after deer season, getting several birds, hanging them up as like a dead hang where you've got them like hanging on a board, and having them in our property, in our house, because that would be neat because they were from that property. So we're just getting ready to where we're like, he's going to come close enough. We've got our duck loads in. We should be able to take him out if we both shoot at the same time. And he goes into the cattails. Clayton's like, Dad, what if he comes out right in front of us? It's like 40 yards across, right there. And I'm like, yeah, that would be great, but probably not going to happen. So we keep on hunting. I think we shot one more. We shot the pintail. I think we missed a couple of birds. And all of a sudden I look across and I'm like, Clayton, look at the white stripe. He's standing right there. This goofy rooster walked out, and he is on display right where we need him to be. So we line him up. We do a 1, 2, 3, and we get the pheasant. And you've never seen two people that were more excited and happy to get a bird than we were at that point, just because who gets a pheasant duck hunted? So we're going to do a really cool dead hang picture with our 2 Drake green-winged teal and our rooster pheasant. And they will be on the wall in our place. And when people see them, they're going to obviously say that doesn't make sense. Like, why would you have a pheasant with ducks in the same mount? But it makes sense for us because it's probably a day that we won't get back again. We probably won't have another one of those days. We have rarely had pheasants on our property, and not often at all seen them even fly around when we're out duck hunting. So this was a rarity that probably will never happen again, but we will commemorate it with a mount in our field. So that is the fun hunt that we had. It's a memory that I have with my son that I will always look at, smile upon. Up at my place, I have different mounts and different birds from all 3 of my boys. It's still tough. You go up there and there's a lot of good memories, but it's sad at the same time. But don't stop stacking those memories together, because you're going to want them when your kids are no longer hunting with you, when you're too old to hunt, or when you get to the point where, God forbid, you lose a child like we have. So I hope that helps you guys. I hope it motivates you to get in the field with your kids, with your family, with your friends, to make those memories and understand that it's not as much about getting, but it's more about the hunt and the experience. Thanks again for watching this week of Sporting Dog Adventures. Again, if you're looking for puppies, we have our litters posted on soggyacres.com. You can check them out. You can get a deposit with us. We'd love to bring you into the Soggy dog family. Everyone have a great week. Take care, and God bless.